All right, this is 4.01b, and in this quiz you need to be able to go back and forth between the standard form or the graphing form of a circle, and that equation is here. And remember, you do have that equation on your EOC formula sheet, and the general form of a circle. So to go from the standard form to the general form, here are the three steps. You want to expand it. You want to gather your like terms and simplify, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so the first two questions on the quiz are going to give you the standard form or the graphing form of the equation, and they want you to find either the center or the radius. So remember, the graphing form is, oops, I got these backwards, don't know how, that's the graphing form. Let me fix that. That's the general form. And so they want you, first, you're given the general form, and you want to get it into the graphing form, because remember, the graphing form, it's easy to find your center, which is HK, and your radius, which is R. So here is our standard form. Here are the steps that you're going to follow to get it to graphing form. So if there's a constant term, we're going to move it to the other side. So here we want to move this 6, this is our constant, we're going to move it to the right side. To move it to the right side, you're going to subtract it from both sides. And so now we've got this -6 on this side. Next step is we're going to have to complete the square. So hopefully you remember that from your algebra. Complete the square. If not, here's how to do it. You're going to take this term right here. That's your A term. You're going to divide by 2. So I've worked it out for you. 6 divided by 2, and then you're going to square it. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 squared is 9. And so that 9 you're going to add to both sides of your equation. Okay, we're going to force this to be a perfect square here. So we're going to add 9 here, add 9 to this side, because remember, what we add to one side, we have to add to the other, or else we change our equation. Now we're going to complete the square for the y term. So the y term here is 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is simply 1. So then we're going to add 1 to both sides of the equation. Now we're going to factor this. So we've got x plus 3, and it's always going to be whatever you halved this with. So this 6 divided by 2, this 3 is going to go right here. If this is a plus sign, this will be a plus sign. So we've got x plus 3 squared. And you can double check yourself. If you were to multiply this out, you're going to get this term right here. And then for our y's, we're going to have, if this is a minus, you're going to bring down your minus sign. So y minus the 1, okay, this 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we're going to bring down that squared, and equal to, now we're simply going to sum these like terms. So 9 minus 6 plus 1 is going to give us 4. So now you can see that that is now in our graphing form. So our HK, remember H is going to be the opposite sign of here, so -3. Opposite sign here is 1, so our center is at -3, 1. And then our radius, remember you take the square root of this number, our radius is 2. So that's how you do the first two questions. All right, the third question is going to tell you to write it in general form when we have the standard form. So to do that, here is our graphing or standard form. We're going to expand each of these terms by multiplying those out. So remember, when we square something, we're simply multiplying it by itself. So here I've done it out here. This is a rule that you would have learned in your algebra. So if you can't remember the rule, you can still just multiply it out like you would using your FOIL or box method, whatever method you learn to do that. I just kind of distribute, so x times x gives me x squared. Then x times my second term, 4, gives me plus 4x. Now I'm going to do my second term. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 4 is 16. And then combine these like terms, x squared plus 8x plus 16. So notice that is what is going right here. Okay, there's my x. This is expanded out, x squared plus 8x plus 16. Same thing with this one, y minus 5 times y minus 5. Going to be y squared minus negative 5 times y is going to give you minus 5y. And then you're going to do the inside terms here. Negative 5 times y is negative 5. Negative 5 times negative 5 is plus 25. So that's where we get our y here. Y squared minus 10y plus 25 equals 36. Now you want to bring the 36 on to the other side, so you're going to subtract it because you're going to set it equal to 0. So we're going to subtract 36 from both sides, and now simplify. Just combine those like terms and put it in this format with your squared terms first. So I've got x squared plus y squared plus 8x minus 10y. And then if I take 16 plus 25 minus 36, I get plus 5 equals 0. So this equation is now the general form of my circle, starting with this equation. The next one is going to actually just give you the center and the radius and ask you what is the general form. So make sure you look at what form they want. They want the general form. So here is my graphing form, and then here is my general form. So if you're given the center and the radius, it's very easy to put it in the graphing form, right? So start with that. Let's put it in the graphing form. We've got x minus a negative 4. That's our h and our k. Let me label that for you. So remember, this is your h, this is your k, and this is the r. So we're going to first plug it in right here. So x plus 4, because x minus a negative 4 is going to give you x plus 4 squared, plus y minus 6, my k value, equals r squared. So r is 5. So we have to square that to get 25. Now we're going to expand it. So you're going to use that FOIL and multiply. So x plus 4 times x plus 4. So x times x gives you x squared. X times 4 gives you 4x. 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times 4 is 16. Same thing with my y's. That's y minus 6 times y minus 6, so y times y is y squared. Y times negative 6 is negative 6y. Negative 6 times y is negative 6y. Negative 6 times negative 6 is 36. And then I'm going to bring this to the other side, so I'm going to subtract 25. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 25 from both sides to get it equal to 0. Now it's simplifying, combining all your like terms. So x squared, 4 plus 4 is 8x, plus, I'm going to go ahead and just do my y squared over here. Negative 6y is negative 12y. Now I'm going to combine my constant terms. So I've got my 16 here. Let me get a different color real quick. So I've got 16 plus 36 minus 25. That's going to give me positive 27. And now we've got our our general form, putting the square terms in front. X squared plus y squared plus 8y minus 12y plus 27. And oops, let me correct this. That should be 8x. Sorry about that. All right, so 8x, don't want to confuse my terms there. So all I did was bring it down and just put it in this general form. See how the general form is. So 8x minus 12y plus 27. Now the last one actually just gives you a picture and wants you to write it in general form, not in graphing form, but you want to start with your graphing form. So when I start with my graphing form, I'm going to identify my center, which is right here. So the coordinates of my center are 0, 3. So that's my h and my k. My radius, if I count, is 1, 2, 3. So radius is 3. So now I'm going to put it into my graphing form here. So x minus, well, my h is just 0, right? So x minus 0 squared plus y minus 3 squared, and then my radius is 3 squared. So now I'm going to expand these. So this one I don't really have to expand, right? X squared, x times x is simply x squared. Y minus 3 times y minus 3 is this here. So here I've expanded this. Y times y is y squared minus 3y minus 3y here, and negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Now I'm going to bring this over, set it equal to 0, subtract 9 from both sides, and now I'm left with x squared plus y squared. Combine these terms, minus 6y, and then 9 minus 9 is simply 0, right? So that goes away, and that's equal to 0. So this is my equation given the graph in general form. Hope this helps.